More help available. We'll let you know who has access to extended mental health resources. Don't miss it. Later, we'll have more on the role of small businesses as Valentine's Day is nearly here.
A brutal weekend. Hawkeye Athletics struggle on the court and the mat.
Windy week. High winds continue in Iowa City this week, and I'll have more on how high these winds may look later this week.
Coming up right now on DITV. Good morning from Iowa City. It's Monday, February 12th, and I'm Hannah Lipsky.
And I'm Johnny Valtman.
And the third member of our team, Ashley, is live outside to tell us today's weather story. It was a pretty sunny weekend. Ashley, does the sunshine look to stick around?
Yeah, it's very sunny right now and there's no clouds in the sky. There is still some frost on the ground as I'm here at Hubbard Park, where it is currently about 25 degrees right now. However, along with the sunshine and warmer temps we've been having, the wind has also made its way to Iowa City. Today looks to warm up later in the day to be a high of 48 degrees as the winds will be coming from the northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. The low tonight will then drop down back to 27 degrees tonight. The sun might also slip away from us later today as there will be a mix of sunshine and clouds as the day continues. I'll have more on the week ahead and whether or not this wind will let up later in the week. Until then, back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Ashley. In our top story today, university mental health resources are becoming more available to others in Iowa City. The University of Iowa Crisis Line was originally reserved for just undergrad and graduate students. Now, university staff, faculty, and postdoctorate students can also use the service. The UI Support and Crisis Line was started in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic in partnership with Community Crisis Service, a local group dedicated to providing support for mental health. The changes were made to the Crisis Line in order to provide an outlet of support for more members of the Iowa family.
The former University of Iowa orchestra conductor is suing the school for alleged unequal pay and sexual harassment. Melise Brunet began working at the university in August of 2021 as a conductor and an assistant professor at the School of Music. She was the university's first female director of activities. Brunet alleges that during her time with the university, she was subjected to frequent inappropriate comments by Associate Director of Undergraduate Studies, Alan Huckleberry, including sexual advances and threats to her career. The lawsuit also claims that before her resignation in May of 2023, Brunet was paid less than her male counterparts and was provided with fewer teaching assistants to work with than male professors. The defendants of the case, including Huckleberry and College of Music Director Tammy Walker, have yet to file a response to the suit.
Iowa City held a New Year celebration on Sunday. DITV's Ryan Lynch is live at Angler Theater where the event took place.
Thanks, Hannah. The Eastern Iowa chapter of the Asian Pacific Islander Americans Public Affairs Association celebrated the Lunar New Year yesterday.
Here to celebrate Lunar New Year at English Theater. This year, Lunar New Year is the year of dragon.
The event kicked off the Dragon Dance that was followed by various acts celebrating the Lunar New Year through song and dance.
People are not so familiar with Lunar New Year. Lunar New Year to us is like Thanksgiving and Christmas combined.
The acts were from the Iowa City or Coralville area. Participants ranged in experience from elementary school choirs to adult tenor and soprano solos. The performances paid homage to the culture with acts like fan dancers.
Fan dance originated from the traditional Korean costumes and later developed into a performative dance form. It's a rich cultural style with a history of more than 3,000 years.
People from the Iowa City area attended the event last year and decided to go again to celebrate the new Year of the Dragon.
Celebrating the Lunar New Year, so this is a great event. So we were invited, so of course we feel very honored to come here. Performances is so beautiful and well prepared, and the costumes so beautiful, colorful, and even the kids, it was so lovely, right, seeing them.
large turnout to the event, selling out Englert Theater for the organization's second Lunar New Year Gala. Live from Englert Theater, Ryan Lynch, DITV.
A new bill has been introduced in the Iowa House that would allow for city councils across the state to override the decisions of library boards. House Study Bill 678 would change the current law that if a city council wants to overturn a library decision, they must get voters to pass a referendum first. This comes after the city of Pella attempted to pass a similar bill last year, but was voted down. So far, no cities have voiced support for the bill, and over 500 people have voiced their opposition to the bill online.
The bill will be discussed by the House committee today. There is only a couple days left till Valentine's Day is here, and in case you have not asked your partner to be your Valentine or made plans for the holiday, DITV's Grace Lathrop has more on how downtown Iowa City has resources to prepare for the holiday.
Just like how love might be right around the corner this Valentine's Day, so may be the perfect spots to shop and dine at. Being named Small Business Community of 2023, Iowa City has countless locally owned businesses and restaurants. Local businesses are preparing for the holiday by creating special menu items after seeing a decrease in business in January.
It is so important to support a small business all the time, but definitely during these little pop of holidays, because it helps get us through January. It helps get us through March.
Deluxe Cakes and Pastries is selling unique Valentine's items like breakup cookies and 2-serving cakes. Iowa City's downtown district is also encouraging residents and visitors to take advantage of the over 120 locally owned businesses and restaurants downtown has to offer.
It's such a walkable town, and so it's a really easy spot to hit all of the different sectors. So maybe go to a culture and entertainment venue, and then go to dinner, and then go to another place for a drink after.
One of Iowa City's most popular restaurants, Basta, also has more on how they prepare for the special holiday.
Me and my chef team, we've been working very hard to get a whole list of specials done, and we're also offering them for not just Valentine's Day, but 2 weeks around Valentine's Day.
Basta is selling specialty pasta, risotto, and dessert dishes. Head downtown to Iowa City for your last-minute reservations and gift shopping for this Valentine's Day. From Iowa City, this is Grace Lathrop, DITV.
And coming up later, a long-awaited report on President Biden's handlings of classified documents has been released, but it doesn't paint the current president in a flattering light. But first, let's take a look back outside with Ashley for the forecast for the week ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Hannah. The winds from this weekend and that will come today will be continuing on throughout this week. Highs will range from the low 50s on Wednesday on Valentine's Day as to the mid 30s later this week, as things will be continuing to cool down as the week continues. Wind speeds this week will range from 5 miles per hour, to potentially getting up to 15 or 20 miles per hour later this week. So while temps still are not in those freezing temperatures that we had in January, things will be cooling down and maybe pretty chilly as those wind speeds are picking up. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Ashley. Now, this was a big weekend for some big Hawkeye sports.
Yes, Hannah, and big is exactly right, and it all starts with it was a busy weekend. Let's start with the big news out of Nebraska, where DITV sports reporter AJ Reister witnessed what could have been Caitlin Clark's historic day.
All eyes were on Caitlin Clark today as she was just 39 points away from breaking the all-time scoring record. Now she's just 8 points away, but that's not the big story coming out of Lincoln. In front of a sold-out crowd, the unranked Cornhuskers shocked the world, defeating Iowa 82-79.
Has the scoring record been a distraction? Will you be happy when it's over?
Has not been a distraction at all. It is what it is. It's what comes with the territory, and when it happens, it happens. Really not going to affect my life that much, and just going to keep going about my business as I have for the past 4 years.
The past 4 years have led to Clark being a star, but today the team did not live up to their stardom. Traveling violations and missed layups haunted the Hawks throughout the night.
We have plays, we have offenses that we should have been running. We just didn't execute. We just didn't get to our spots. We didn't cut into the paint.
And during the fourth quarter, Iowa still held a 14-point lead. But then the Hawks went on a 6-minute scoring drought, allowing the Cornhuskers to claw their way back. With 30 seconds left in the game, Jazz Shelley buried a three to give Nebraska their first lead of the game. Clark and Martin each attempted three-pointers in the final seconds, but it was too little too late, and Nebraska walked away with the win.
Clark will now have a chance to break the all-time scoring record in Carver against the Wolverines. More importantly, Iowa will look to get back on track next week. Now let's send it back to Iowa City, where Colin Carruthers has more on the men's basketball game on Sunday.
Yeah, thanks, AJ. Things here in Carver Hawkeye Arena started pretty ugly for the men's basketball team.
There was a little pre-game crowd to see if Caitlin Clark would break that record, and as AJ said, she didn't. And things didn't look promising for the men's team to start out either. Minnesota dominated in all aspects of the first half, lifting them to a 51-38 lead at the midway point. The Gophers' Dawson Garcia was the X factor for them, scoring 18 points in the first half.
You know, you have to be better defensively. And we have an unselfish group. We have a lot of different guys that can score. You can't panic.
Yet this Iowa team didn't care about the first half issues and was committed to seeing this one through. Patrick McCaffrey started to light it up from the field, and that got things ignited for the Hawkeyes. Peyton Sanford would back up Patrick as they both dropped 21 points to help overcome a 20-point deficit and win 90-85.
That's just kind of who we are, and that's who we've been the whole year. We've had our backs against the wall a ton, but we just stressed, change the season right now. Our defense was terrible. They weren't missing shots either, so that didn't help, but they were wide open, and then we really ramped up the intensity, and that's kind of where we were able to make our big run.
And just to emphasize how bad Iowa wanted this win, Owen Freeman actually got his tooth knocked out and continued to play the rest of the game.
The Hawkeyes grabbed their 14th win of the season after completing their second largest comeback in program history. Now I'm going to send it over to Elise Gann to see how the men's wrestling team did this past weekend.
Thanks, Colin. I am also here at Carver Hawkeye Arena, where the Iowa men's wrestling team took a tough loss to Penn State in what was a frustrating meet.
The Hawkeyes started the match off with a bang as they put up close fights against the opposing wrestlers in the eyes of a huge crowd at Carver. In the 125 weight class, 7th-ranked Drake Ayala handed 2nd-ranked Braden Davis his first loss of the season in a back-and-forth 4-2 victory. This was Ayala's 9th-ranked win this year, giving Iowa the early lead. Although Colin Schriever fell in the 133 and 2nd-ranked Real Woods couldn't keep up in the 141, the Hawkeyes did narrow the gap with a last-minute victory in the 149. Caleb Rachi started off strong, acquiring the first 2 takedowns of the match versus Tyler Kasak. But Kasak battled back to overtime, where Rachi took control in the sudden death period to pick up the 11-8 victory. Although for the Hawkeyes' strong start, they were unable to hold on to that spark. Penn State went on to win the next 6 matches with 5 major decisions, giving them an overall win of 29-6.
Weren't ready. You wrestle guys like that, they have a high-powered team. They score a lot of points, and you have to be ready, like beyond ready.
With the loss, many were left curious about the absence of undefeated star freshman Gabe Arnold, and head coach Tom Brands did not have much to say on the topic.
He is, he is awesome, and we're looking forward to having him in the lineup.
The Hawkeyes are looking to bounce back next Sunday when they take on the Wisconsin Badgers at home. From Carver Hawkeye Arena, Elise Gann, DITV Sports.
So it wasn't the best of weekend for Hawkeye sports, Hannah. There's still a little bit of regular season time, but with the postseason coming around, maybe the Hawks will try and turn it around before hitting the postseason.
Yeah, one could hope. Hopefully we'll see some changes coming up. A special counsel report has brought up questions about President Joe Biden's memory and his capacity to serve as the nation's leader. The report states that Biden mishandled classified materials and that his memory was, quote, significantly limited in interviews with the special counsel. For more in-depth coverage on this, be sure to check out DITV's The Update tomorrow night. Thank you for joining us online or listening to KRUI 89.7 FM. We are here live from Iowa City every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. and online anytime at dailyiowan.com. For Ashley Wheel, Johnny Voltman, I'm Hannah Lipsky. See you again on Wednesday morning right here on DITV.